Hey guys, hi, welcome. Cancer, your June Taroscope reading with me. We are going to be doing the same format as last month because so many people seemed to really enjoy it. We'll use the same tarot deck, the Rider-Waite, and your shuffling seems to have come to an end as well. So with no further ado, let's set the cards out and see what's in store for you guys for June. Okay, let's have a look and see if you can see most of those through the lens. We can. And I see the first line has a little bit of, full-on energy in it. So let's count up the number of major arcana cards. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and that makes sense when we see the first line. Let's count the court cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 court cards. So people are somehow involved in your reading as well. So it's not just about yourself, but I suspect a lot of this is coming from internal mechanisms that you are working on and that will propel you through a degree of change in the month. So June for you guys looks to be fairly profound and has the potential for a new direction at many different levels. If you're looking at that first line and thinking you don't like the look of the 3 cards that are, have the predominant black colour in it, bring yourself back to this focus here, because the star in all readings embellishes everything with the power of protection and love and light from the universe. So anyhow, let's start up here with the first card on the very far left, and it's the 9 of Swords. Now the 9 of Swords is often a card that shows that we are in a place of a little bit of tension. So this has possibly come about from earlier months, say April, May, and working itself into June. Oftentimes too it refers to the fact that at night you can't sleep. So some of you may literally be suffering from insomnia, or potentially nightmares or dreams that are bothering you. So you might be having a very active dream mind. Now the other thing to pay heed to when these sort of things happen, dreams often tell us things. So this is our subconscious mind talking to us in the subconscious realm, but trying to diffuse or deflect daytime energies and emotions so that we can somehow learn from them and manage them. So your dreams can be important to interpret and to connect with and listen to. The other thing is, learn to try and get good sleep by good practice methods, such as going to bed early, turning off technology. Magnesium is very good for making sure that you get a good healthy sleep, or some of you may even need prescribed sleeping tablets. Good herbs, eating the right types of foods, and not drinking too much alcohol. All of those things go towards helping to have a better night's sleep. Now the next card is really a lovely card, the 4 of Wands. Now interestingly enough, it can mean that you're shifting house or thinking of shifting house, and that could make sense too with these 2 cards here. So for some of you, you might be going through what you would consider the trauma of leaving home. Some of you might be first-time home leavers, moving away from parents or established families or homes, or leaving relationships even. But the card generally is a very positive, happy card. So it shows us that there is happiness and support and love within the home, or within the people that reside there. This card can also indicate attending functions such as weddings or engagements or happy occasions where it's a home-based environment, or it's people from a home environment that you know who are involved in it. We come to this one, the first of your major arcana is the Tower, and right next to it the Death. I think you know, the fact that they're together like this tends to show us that there's something fairly big bubbling under the surface. Now, the Tower usually tells us that something that we have had in our life has not had firm foundations, whether it's a belief system, an ideology, a way we're behaving, or a practice that we're doing, or a job we're in, or relationships. Fundamentally, it's flawed, and it may have got to the point where it had got too high or too tall or been going on for too long, and the foundations can take it no longer, and the whole thing comes crashing down. But it had to, because it wasn't ever going to go in the right direction, because it wasn't based fundamentally on the right sound logic base, or truth or honesty or something. So this card can literally turn up when there is an argument around. So sometimes it can be the falling away of a relationship. You can have just like a big blowout, like a rah rah rah, finish, it's over, and you move away. I've seen this card turn up in workplaces when there can be work disagreements, and sometimes a boss will hand his notice in, or a co-worker will just leave, up and leave, they're gone. So it can be in many areas of your life: work, relationships, personal, financial, anything. But when it comes, know that it comes for a reason, and that always you head yourself on a better direction. At the time it can be intense, and it can be something you'd rather not go through, but it just serves to be for better. You learn and you grow and you move on. And to prove it, we have the next card marching out of this disorder or decay into new birth. And there's the sun in the background telling us that something about you is being reborn. You are making some sort of very inner change about you and who you are and where you want to be and how you want to get there and where you're going. And this is the beginning of the new you. Oh, wow. And even better, this is energetically connected to the Magician, and the Magician is number one. It's magic. It's the magic in life. It's the wish for all the things that you couldn't dream exist, but you have the power at this point in time to get those things. So there is something big coming for you guys, and you are literally making some change, and I believe it's probably quite internal. But boy, you were gifted with this right next to it, and energetically connected the star as well. So you're being so looked after, but your universal helpers are really pushing you to the limit to make some changes in your life. And I think if you don't take the opportunity in June to make these changes, eventually you'll look back and you'll regret it, and you'll go, damn, I had that moment in time, I really probably should have changed direction. The Magician card is pure magic. It's a time when the universe is offering you something unique that you can grab onto, and pretty well much what you wish for is what you'll get. So be very careful to wish for the right thing, and that's the emphasis on that card. We often get what we wish for, but we fail to make the right wishes in life. So be careful about the words you choose and the desires you have at this point in time, because boy, there's stuff out there. It's like your reading is just super uber charged with electricity. You can see it. The electricity is here. It's this wild conduction of, and it hits the Magician's hand like a conductor, and it comes straight down here into the star as well, and sort of surges over here. So your whole month has got potential for big catalytic changes. It's up to you how you want to do it, and whether or not you face them, and whether or not you're even interested, but it's quite profound. So coming back to more normal routine stuff, we have this chap who's walked on in, the King of Pentacles, and he's a really nice earth energy grounded material guy with great fundamentals on knowledge of finances and investments and things like that. He could be a potential employer one way or another, or possibly a romantic partner coming in. Earth sign energy, they're always, good support people, very stable and quite often logical in their thinking. So he could be someone that you lean on for support in one way or another. Then we come to this card here, and you see again, I just can't keep stop thinking how your reading is just, it's just so engineered. I don't know how it happened, but this strength card connected to both of these. So you've got this inner strength to get through all of this anyhow. And it's your inner strength that you need to call on, not physical. So know if you are getting into any situations where there might be the propensity for a physical blowout with someone or something, back off. You have the emotional and intellectual strength to deal with it, and that's what that card is. And it shows us that when we call on that energy as opposed to any physical energies in life, we can overrule and empower and be the higher one above any creature, because that's the lion. So use your inner connection to the universe and call on the magical energies and the energies of spirit guides and helpers to empower you for this month of June on your amazing journey. So coming to the Queen of Wands, she could be in your life as well. She's a fire sign energy. She's quite a creative woman and very in touch with the psychic realm as well. So again, you had these people in your life around you at this point in time, whether or not they're part of all this that's going on, or they're new people that come in, or support mechanisms, or something to do with employment, you're going to have to work through that. It's very, the messages I'm getting and the pictures that are coming to my mind are very much about these cards all merging together, and how you can definitely come out on top and be quite a different person from this passage or events that are going to take place or could take place. We come down here to the Empress, and we see her another major arcana, and the sun is shining on her right now, which is rather prophetic in many ways. She's the epitome of the harvest in life, of being nurtured by the warmth of the sun and the harmony of Mother Earth and the way crops grow and food and how it's fertilized, and being sated and happy and just at peace with everything in life. She exudes sexuality and fertility, so that's a time of potential conception and attraction to the opposite sex and fertile relationships and sexual relationships. So there's this propensity around, and given that the star is connected to her, as well as the Magician and as well as strength, we've got all of these kind of, if we followed a line through all of the connections of your major arcanas, it's actually quite profound. So there's something much bigger going on than I'm even really relaying the picture to. But coming to the star, she's also, because she has a naked body there and she's dipping into the waters, very much a fertile card. So definitely about fertility and fertility cycles, and we have this again back down in this corner. So for any of you wanting to conceive, this might be a good month to try, and for anyone not wanting to conceive a baby, you should be very, very careful. This card is about being protected and looked upon by your guides and spirit helpers, angels and other divine energies of the universe. It's also about bringing balance into your life in all areas, so your physical and your emotional and your spiritual, combining them all to make the perfect harmony and balance. It's also about keeping your body hydrated and making sure you have the right diets and that your emotions are well balanced at the same time. But the star is very much a supporter of positive energy throughout a reading. And so what it does tend to do, any negative cards that are around, it tends to lower the negative effect on them. And when I say negative, that's actually the wrong choice of word. It possibly just, what I meant to say was more intense energetic cards. It lowers the intensity energy of them. This one here, now actually my camera card is overheating, so I'm just going to have to stop the video for a minute. So I've cooled the disc off a little bit. We come to this card, the Seven of Rods, and this guy again feels as though he's a little bit on the defence, as if he has his guard up around him, just maybe thinking that people are a bit too bossy still, or there are people around him that are pushing his boundaries a little bit. So I think this could still be a little bit of a overflow from stuff going on that was up here in this first week. but it's manageable. It's about choosing which arguments you bother getting into. Let stuff go, you know. There's that saying, don't sweat the small stuff, and I think that's incredibly important in life. People nowadays are too quick to get too riled up over things that really in the long term are insignificant. So we have to learn how to let go of stuff that isn't actually that important and just go, who cares, whatever, do it your way, I'm not even interested. So there's a degree of that when this card shows up. We come here to the next court card, and it's the Page of Pentacles. And he often is a younger person and can be an earth sign again. You've got a few earth sign people in your reading, which again, as I say, is nice supportive energy. But sometimes it can just be a person who you either are going to listen to, or they want to talk to you, or they're just part of your life for this period of time. Or there's the potentiality that this page is offering some sort of new area in your financial sector. So possibly the ideas of new jobs or career paths or financial opportunities are around at this time. He's a nice card to have in your reading. We come down here, we're still on the major arcana with the Hanged Man. So you have 3 major arcanas in a row there. We had the 2 of them up here, 2 down here, and 4 sort of grouped in here. But coming back to the Hanged Man, he often shows us that there's an impasse with things going on in your life, that maybe there's been this full-on energy and activity and stuff happening up here, and you go, oh, wait a minute, I need to just rethink this. So it can be about literally thinking which direction you're going and taking time out to stop and smell the roses and count things out and decide which way is appropriate and which way is correct. It can also literally be the universe actually putting a bit of a block up as well, saying, right, we're going to slow things down. You've had a pretty full-on month earlier, and it's time that we just regrouped ourselves and took some stock of things and made some solid decisions. So this is often about solid decision making and also enlightenment. So sometimes when you are stalled for whatever reasons, you can see things so much more clearly. So you suddenly get this aha moment and this epiphany of why you're where you're at and how important it is, and that the crossroad is indeed an important place to be, and that rushing through a crossroad can often lead us to an accident like this one up here, because probably the crossroad wasn't thought about well enough up there, which is why it ended up the way it did. So think of the Hanged Man as a fortunate break in time that allows us to re-strategize and regroup and also re-energize. We see this illumination around his head, and I often think of neck pain, back pain, and you can have physical relief for this, such as Reiki or physiotherapy or osteocranial work. And often when we do the physical release, we then get this emotional flow, and that's sometimes how we get the enlightenment coming through. And next to the Hanged Man, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Again, she's a beautiful, opulent, warm, nurturing, great host, caring, supportive of earth, and all that similar energy to the Empress. So fertile, but also manifesting in the monetary realm. She could be a potential mate one way or another, or cohort, or business partner, or employer. She could be a friend who's offering support or knowledge or entrepreneurial information. So a great person to have walk into your life, especially at this point in time. We see here 2 last cards, 2 major arcanas. The Chariot, I always love the Chariot. This is powerful energy. So you've got this huge power going on in your life, you know, and the ability to call on it. This again is supreme power of the mind, and almost like this knowing of the universe. And interestingly, connected right here, she also exudes this very same knowing universal energy, like a deep spirituality. And there's the mirroring here in both of these cards, which is also very synchronistic. You've got a lot of the black and white, so night and day, male and female, yin and yang. it duplicates itself in so many of your cards. So the messages are really, really strong, that there is this power, strength, tenacity, emergence, spirituality, involvement, universal energy, all surging through the entire month, because it started up here with the same type of background, black and white energy, and opposites in life. Everything that happens has an opposite, so whatever gets started must always eventually come down. What goes up comes down. It's the same. What journey you start must end, and then you start again, so new doors are always opening. So we had the same replication of messages down here, and I see again the moon and the star, which is why I have this feeling that there's possibly started for you in the cyclical pattern of the eclipses that may have been in March, that's when they were. Coming back to the Chariot, yes, he has great inner strength, knowledge, power, knowing, the degree of ego, which is always good, because to be honest, in this physical world we are ego driven. We can't actually live without it, so you must have a degree of ego to actually function. It can also be about changing houses. So you've got two messages in here of possibly moving house or changing your residence or where you live one way or another. There's also the potentiality that this is something to do with a vehicle, and quite often a car. So you may be thinking of a new car, or there's something going on with your car. And the other thing is, it can mean travel, and it can mean travel by road. So some of you might be going on a road trip one way or another in around June and towards July. We come to your last card, the High Priestess, and she is the epoch of spiritual knowledge. She holds the Torah in her lap, and it's about hidden knowledge and understandings of how the universe works that she brings into her mind and her life, and co-creates her whole existence with this. So she's very psychic and spiritually aware. She has clairvoyant abilities. She's connected to the other side of life, the spiritual realm. But at the same time, this is very physical and sexual card. These are ovum and eggs. So there's that sexuality in here 3 times with the messages. So there can be quite a great degree of physical attraction going on in this month for you, and heightened attraction, and quite a lot of sexual activity one way or another. And that's not just for the woman, that's for the men as well. So I see it as being quite there's a real relationship kind of energy going on underneath, because there's a lot of attraction cards and sexual energy in the reading. Again, potential for pregnancy, conception, creation of a new human being. We talk about moon cycles, menstrual cycles, how the moon can affect our emotions, and how we need to stay balanced. So a lot of the messages in that card, and again coming back to just deep spirituality and deep spiritual connections. So there we are, Cancer. That is a pretty full-on reading, I admit that. There is a lot going on, but I think the way the cards have actually been put together has been engineered by, not myself, believe me, by forces that be, that wanted to really project a message of your innate strength to work through it, and to pull together your power and emerge as a stronger, more unique individual at the end of this month. All of these type energies, they are trying, but they are so rewarding. It's a little bit like saying you're going to run a marathon. Hell, I mean, I couldn't run a marathon tomorrow, and no one could unless they do the training for it. And the training is long and arduous, and you might get halfway through it and think, oh, I could give this up. But when you finally do the marathon and you get through it and you get the medal at the end, you've achieved so much, you've learnt so much, you've grown so much, and you're a different person, and you actually, without knowing it, are doing a whole lot of different things in your life. So this reading, if you like, for want of a better way of describing it, is kind of similar. There's things possibly going on that you may not have initiated or wanted, or that they've been going on for some time, and they're starting to really swing into action. And the changes, the wheel, the evolution of change, or the cycle of change, is continuously spinning, and this is a spinning month. It's not one that's just going to be ho-hum. So there you are, guys, a powerful reading, and I wish you all the best for creating your own powerful future from the knowledge and the changes and possibilities that you have within your grasp. So thank you all for watching and listening. I really love your comments that you leave, and I wish you a very powerful, successful June. Ka kite noa, much aroha, namaste.